Well, once you've set up the XML file, then you're ready to run the software. So just go to the folder where it's installed. I've installed version 6.10. That's the version that you should have at least. You could have you may have a later version. So go there, and then you click on the start.bat, this batch file here. This will start the Java program. It'll open this command window, this user interface. Very easy to use user interface. Maximize the window, and you can go ahead and load a file. I'm going to load a file called model dot. It's just a PDF, right? So it's a model.pdf. And while it's loading, don't click on this area, just leave it empty. If you do click on it, you won't be able to visualize the drawing later. But after it stops loading, it'll say not processed like it is now. Then you can click on it, and then the drawing will appear. Now you see, you see suddenly I've got a whole bunch of colors that have appeared up here. This indicates that the drawing has multiple colors in it, and actually only one has been switched on. It's important before you do anything to switch on everything else. Okay, that's the first step. And then what you do is, if they are selected, if they're dark like this, then you select all of the lines with the right mouse click, and you go to exclude selected lines. They'll all go gray like that. So each one of these lines can be treated as a wall, but you don't want all of them to be treated as a wall. This bunding, for example, is only a few meters high. So from the point of view of an explosion over here and the tanks, it doesn't necessarily shield the tanks from the explosion. This blast wall is high, and we will um, make sure that it's highlighted. But this line here, for example, demarcates a road, as does this line here, which demarcates a porous fence. Those are not walls, and the blast wave will go straight through them. So we want to deselect them. So I'm going to go ahead and select some lines that will be important in this analysis. So these tanks, and I can zoom in with the middle mouse button, rolling up the middle mouse button, and I can select the components of the blast wall. You can get as fine as you like. I mean, for this purpose. And I go right click and then unexclude, and go back and exclude this text stuff that I'd selected by the by. I've got a couple of buildings here. Here's one building. I'm selecting that. I'm going to unexclude that. Here's another building, selecting that. Going to unexclude both of them. And there's a third building here, which is the workshop, and another building in front of it. And I'm going to unexclude those. And so now I have a blast wall, a couple of tanks, and those are the only walls. All the other lines that you see have been deselected, so they'll be ignored by the software. And that's the way it should be. It shouldn't have every single line selected.